It's a great workout.
One real quick guidance, just a step-by-step instruction for all the flat booty, no muscle having people.
That's how they think, Can you summarize it in 3 steps?
Good Lord.
Yes.
But it's all about
isolating muscles.
Yep, here and here.
In there. She's a glute specialist, y'all.
Yeah.
Put some respect on her name.
Period.
That was the level her training grounds was, you know what I mean?
Thank you.
A glute specialist, and she helped us all get our glutes done.
That was the bomb.
That was the bomb. That was the bomb.
Those are basically the basics of twerking.
So y'all, this is how we vibe when the camera's not even on. So
Yeah, we wasn't here twerking.
we was in here twerking yesterday, getting it right for our life partners.
So we're gonna open up the floor now to pretty much talk about whatever the hell y'all want to talk about. But I'll start it off. We're gonna throw
You gotta start from the line down.
Come on.
I'll start it off.
Not if you want.
What makes
Let's do the hot seat. Hot seat. Where you just throw it out.
Let's put him in the hot seat. Who you putting in the hot seat, Reed?
I don't know about.
Jada?
What's up?
What does a ride or die friendship mean to
Ooh.
Ride or die friendship.
Listen. Hey,
You gotta tell them that
how'd you
story.
even know? It's like honestly, I would say I gotta choose my words wisely.
That's right, girl. You live. The world is on you.
Honestly, I would say, I feel like I am one of the most loyal friends someone could have. And what I mean when I say I'm a ride and die, there's nothing no one can come to me and say about you to me that's gonna make me think otherwise. You know what I mean? Like I may ask you, you know what I mean, hey, what's going on with this? But there's no way in hell I would allow anyone to come to me, convince me that something was said from you, indirect, for me to change my mind or perspective of who you are as a person and who you were to me for many years, or even if it was a couple months. So, I also have another perspective. There's certain situations that I may get myself into, or that person may get theirself into. If I call you, I expect for you to be there for me, because I expect, I feel like if there's something that you need, I'm going to be there for you. So, prime example.
Okay.
Prime example. Victoria and I have been friends for going on about 4 years now. There was a situation that I had, and I did some shit I had no business doing. And
you all done it?
Yeah. I did some things I had no business doing. I was going through a whole,
She was a baby,
divorce.
y'all.
I was going through a divorce.
Yeah, going through grown up shit.
And I was, I did some shit. I'm not gonna say what I did, but I called Victoria because I felt like that was my escape. That was that's the person who was going to keep me straight. That was my closest friend at the time, even still now to this day. And she's like, girl, don't say nothing else. Just send me your location. Don't say nothing else. Don't say nothing else. Because she's thinking, girl, the way I'm explaining to her, she's thinking like, we're going to have to hide this. We're going to have to drop this off here.
They're crazy, y'all.
Look, she got
She like, just send me your location, friend. I'm on my way. So when she gets there, she said, girl, I thought you killed somebody.
Listen, on the way, I was already plotting where we was going to hide them.
The weapon, whatever.
Weapon,
She was
anything.
already plotting.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
so I was like, and that.
I
She was like, don't say nothing else. Just send me your location. I'm like,
real
right, girl. But yeah, that's just an example. Just be there for your friend. Even if you feel like your friend it's wrong. Still be there for them
Yes.
because clearly, you know, that's your friend for a reason. You're there to, when they're falling, you know, you're there to help lift them.
Yeah.
You know, and that's another thing that brought me and Victoria even closer. I started off as her trainer, but then she also, Chanel as well, they both witnessed what I was going through during the process of my divorce. And it just brought us together. And it actually helped me finally just make that decision to leave.
Yeah.
Like it made me just, because I was the type that I wanted to keep giving chances. I'm like, man, fuck this.
Right.
Like, we out.
We wasn't playing with our little baby.
We out.
We wasn't playing with her.
We out.
Girl, no.
So, but yeah, I mean,
So
that's
ride or
just
die,
like,
yeah.
yeah, literally, ride or die. That's exactly what it was.
We was at the courthouse with her, like, we're taking you to the courthouse.
We about to take you down there to get the papers. We about to get them for you.
You gonna make it.
You gonna make it happen. Yeah,
That's
so
great.
we're
She's
talking
just
about
thinking about
how
the
far we
body.
gotta
She's
drive.
thinking about the body.
Where can we get a boat?
That's
When I tell you this girl was in the house,
really was.
with me, I said, Lord
And this
Jesus.
is why we gotta be loyal to our sisters. What we do as women,
Yes, queen.
the forgiveness. When you say even when she do you wrong, you gotta
Even
know
when
who
they do
you're-
you wrong.
Like because these men that be shitting on us,
Yeah.
we give them a second
Quick to
chance. We
take
give them a
them back.
second chance. But when it comes to our sisters, we quick to write
Quick
them
to-
off. And like
Yeah.
have
And
that
women,
same
ladies,
loyalty.
Stay out of your friends' relationship.
I agree.
You can give them your opinion.
Yeah.
Your opinion don't even matter.
Not even, but
Like,
your
screw
opinion don't matter. Like if they ask you, okay, cool,
Just be there
but
for
like
them.
just be there for them.
'Cause
Like
you-
don't let a dude or their situation relationship come in between your friendship.
Exactly.
Because that ruins a lot of friendships.
I don't even get in my brothers and sisters.
Yeah, you just
I
can't.
ain't
You
getting
just
in
gotta.
nobody's
You just
relationship.
gotta let it
Because
flow.
you end up always going back. I was the
You
girl
gonna go
that
back.
always be like, you know, oh my God, come beat his ass. Come over here.
Yeah.
And be right back with him.
If you don't like your friend's partner or your friend's partner don't like, okay, fuck it. You don't have to
Stay
sleep
away.
with them. You know,
Right,
you're
right.
not
You don't
staying
sleep
with
with
them.
them.
I feel like don't even tell people everything.
Yo,
that you don't want
business.
people to know about your
And then
relationship.
to have them
Yeah.
choose over their love and you
Yeah.
is very
Yeah,
selfish.
it's
Just
very.
be
It
there
puts
when
you
they
in a
come.
very awkward situation.
right, but when you know who your friend is and what you see on the outside
Yeah.
looking in, then you should prepare to be there for them because
Yes.
you see it coming.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Don't judge them. Let them enjoy themselves. Let them have a relationship and be there and be ready to support them when
Exact support.
what
That's
you
the
said.
key word. Support them.
when what
Be
you
there
know is
for
about
them.
to come true, come true.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
don't turn your back on them.
I've been there too.
So the way this portion is gonna work, since I asked you the question, you get to pick somebody else and ask them something.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Let's get to it.
Dang, what do I need to ask? I don't know.
If you ain't got nothing,
I don't really
you
have a
can
question.
feel free to pass it off to someone else.
Okay.
All right.
Pass the mic.
Chanel, what's your questions? What you gotta ask somebody?
Dang.
Yeah, I don't know what to ask.
Since we're on the topic of friendship, right? How do you get into business with your friends to elevate them?
Ooh, I like that question.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's like as friends, I want us to come together like how we did today.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Like we're friends, you're my friend. I was like, you gotta be my friends, and
Right,
vice
right,
versa
yes.
or whatever. And I was like, damn, we're all powerful. We all got something to give, and how can we merge this and make it into something special? So, I guess how do you do that?
Who are you asking that question to? Or are you just opening that up?
I'm just opening it up to the floor.
Okay.
I think I want to ask you, Reek. Because I feel like Reek ain't been getting
Right,
him.
he ain't been getting-
You know, he ain't been getting like,
It's like
Wait, ask it again.
or okay, can you get in a business with your friends? I'm gonna just direct it, just do it like that. Is it wise to
Is
get
it
in a
with them?
business?
Is that the same, like, are they in the same industry or just in general?
But it's
I'm
not.
only saying that because
Right.
I had a situation
Right.
where
I would only
depends
get
on the
into the
energy.
business with my ride or die.
Do
But here's
you?
the deal.
What if you
Here's
fall
the
out
deal.
of a business with your rider?
You
It depends on how-
you could
Depends on how I see them being serious about their.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I see that you are being serious about your own business, then I feel more comfortable, like asking it to go into business with me if I'm serious about what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
But here's the deal, though. You can.
Is it safe to get into business with your rival?
Whoever you get in business with, that partnership is more sacred. It's as sacred than the marriage. Even more, people leave their marriages to save their business partnership and relationship. So you can opt to get into business with a friend and go through the buckets with someone you know, or you're gonna go through the same thing with a stranger. It's all about who you pick and choose, who you administer the same principles that it takes to run a business with a partner. What it takes to run a business with a stranger is exactly what it takes to run a business with your friend. It's all about that chemistry. See, people don't understand chemistry. I can have chemistry with my female friend, just like a male friend. If you don't got that business vibe and we can do this chemistry, then don't. Force it. You got to have that chemistry.
Absolutely.
Everybody don't have that chemistry. You got people who are competitive, people who are opportunists, people who really want to be you and don't really have the best interest. So,
because I got in a business with a friend,
that chemistry. You know what I'm saying? When you got that chemistry and it's a natural flow, why not? Because for real, we need to draw together.
And I want to piggyback off of that as far as saying bringing people into business when it's more of a unit, when it's passion behind it. Because I feel like it'll genuinely work if it's both something that you both love, even if it's in different areas. We're sitting here,
if you're both,
and really honestly, in a perfect example, I know I've watched Jada and Victoria for the last 2-3 years myself, so I've witnessed Jada being that trainer when Victoria's a trainee. You know what I mean? As somebody who really was just going to work out to perfect her own self-care, to perfect her own self-love, and to protect her own, get her together. And she transitioned into find something that she actually loved to do.
But they got the chemistry.
And when I feel like that chemistry came from the passion that she found with what she loved to do. Because she genuinely found love
valuable friendship
in the training. I don't think it even would have went as smooth if it wasn't something that she had loved to do.
That's that chemistry, though. But listen, you were a trainer. Y'all met as her being your client, right?
No, I think we met
friends first. Okay, they were friends first. So look, even still, she supported her business by becoming her client.
Exactly.
In regards, what I love about this whole scenario is it wasn't like I'm gonna keep her down. No, you can be no trainer because I'm a trainer. You're gonna steal my clients. They both thriving now. But see, when you connect with the right people, you don't even understand that's chemistry. That's natural chemistry when it flows like that, and it just flows. That's chemistry. So go in business with that friend that you have that chemistry. You don't necessarily gotta have trust. I swear you don't. You gotta have agreements. Agreement, like, because you go to work with people you don't trust every day. You slave and you get the vision done with strangers every day. What you need is a plan, an agreement, and a contract. Do it right, and you should flow. But regardless if it's a friend or a stranger, the principle you have to apply to be successful in business with another person applies across the board.
Definitely.
So you were asking. Oh wait, what else?
I was asking a general question.
That was a floor question.
Yeah, floor question. For sure.
That was a floor question.
All right. I'll ask another floor question. Matter of fact, I'll use some more.
Oh
Lord.
And guys, the safe woman who always stay positive. Tonight, I promise to take off the safe hat and just let it flow.
Let it loose. Let it flow. That's it. What's your question, Reese?
What you got?
What you got up your sleeve? And get spicy. Let's get spicy.
What advice do you have for a person who is not necessarily a bad person, but made a ton of bad person choices and wants to turn over a new leaf, but also still hold himself or themselves accountable for all the bullshit they did prior to wanting to turn over the new leaf? Do you think it's possible for someone to be pretty much a devil to turn over a new leaf and become an angel?
I do believe the devil can. Oh gosh. First of all, let me make sure I understand the question. So you asked,
Is it
is it
possible?
possible for a person who have, not a bad person, but a person who have made very bad decisions
That would make people think
they're bad?
logically, this is a terrible person.
Uh-uh.
But he really made bad decisions, and sometimes in the heat of the moment, and they were more so out of emotion than anything.
I love that because I'm the female version of what you explained. I believe in my life, I made bad decisions that the consequences, when people don't know the backstory, look like, who's this woman? Like she gotta be this, she gotta be doing this.
Mm-hmm.
No, I really was just emotionally poor, and I made irrational.
Poor. I love that.
I
Emotionally
poor, and I just made irrational, thoughtless decisions, and as a result, the consequences were terrible. And without anyone knowing the backstory, it made myself look like this woman must be crazy. She must be this because only people who go through this have these consequences. No, I'm really an innocent bystander, you know. But in doing so, the hope is, yes, there is hope. If that person is willing to be patient, do the work, and allow time for growth and healing. I've done the work. I still do the work. And when I look back, even because I've done the work and I'm doing the work, and you mentioned something very important, this person had accepted their fault in the dismay of their life. That is the very first step to gaining victory over wrong decisions, is to say, okay, I did it. I did it.
Yeah.
These are the consequences. My life is a result of my poor decisions,
right.
No matter who did what to me.
Exactly.
Find your responsibility in it.
Right.
So when you can find what we do, we find the responsibility and the blame of the other person's contribution to the dismay of our life. They are right. They do have fault, and they have contributed. But what is your fault?
Yeah.
And accepting your fault and your responsibility does not alleviate them for theirs. It's just say, so in my marriage, because I've done that, and my ex-husband and whoever else has feel evil and made a bunch of poor decisions, because I accepted my faults and I've decided to do the work in the areas I need to grow, which was building my emotional intelligence as to why I'm all about helping women heal and strengthening this whole emotional capacity of us. Because once we get this on point, oh my God, we can win. So it is possible. And the first step to possible in a scenario like that is to accept your responsibility to the contribution to the dismay in your life. What did you do to bring your life here? We know they did this, but what did you do?
Look, can Rick keep it real? 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 Can Rick
keep it real?
Keep it real.
Y'all, first of all, thank you for loving me and knowing me.
Yes,
I mean, I
yes.
know I just met you yesterday. I just met you a couple hours ago.
Yeah.
Literally coming out the
Yes.
shower. Hey!
Yes.
Thank you for coming. Out of everybody in this room, this one knows me the most.
Yes.
Yes.
Lord.
And
I do.
throughout these past few years, I found myself in situations that were not only emotionally traumatizing,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
but my reaction to that trauma caused severe trauma
He ain't even been drinking.
to someone else. And people have told me plenty of times, the first step is taking accountability, but I was kind of stuck at just that part.
Accountability.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, I'm taking accountability.
But
Now
are your
what?
actions?
Yeah.
Now what?
Exactly.
Because some of these actions I
Exactly.
honestly feel like I can't control.
Exactly.
And I'm trying, and I know that sounds crazy, but it's like from the outside looking in a lot of instances, I look like a monster. But if you knew the story, see, Shrek, let me tell you something about Shrek. He may be a big bad green ogre, but somebody hurt his feelings really bad.
Really?
And the messed up thing about life is that
Right?
we going through it, yo. The messed up about life is that you have to take all this trauma in from your parents, your siblings, your family, your friends, things that people threw on, whether intentionally or unintentionally, and suffer from that, and that's not your fault. However, it's your responsibility to fix that.
Yeah.
And how is that your responsibility to fix something that you ain't never fixed before? You ain't never knew how to fix. You ain't no professional.
It's something that you don't have no control over.
You know what I mean? So it's just like I felt like when I was in, and I'm still in there, but there was more so a time period where I wanted to go in the right direction. I just didn't know how to actually do that.
That's what I'm saying. We want to heal, but we don't know how.
Right.
We want to break free, but we don't know how. So in my pain, my journey was like, I got to get through this stuff so I can show other people how to do this. Because in my pain, I realized don't nobody want to stay here. We want to feel. We don't want to stay in this agonizing defeat, emotional despair.
Right.
So I really took the initiative to learn it not only for myself but for others, and I realized that it's as simple as obtaining knowledge and applying it.
Well, for me,
in the discipline.
For me, it was getting down and just being completely tired. And I hate to bring up the spiritual warfare, but I know exactly what you mean when you talk about being Shrek or being in that certain place. Because where I am at today and how I'm following my goals and how I want to reach out to the community is by actually loving on me and getting in tune with who I am and the people around me to be able to grow. I know that God was the most important thing that I had to do. When I got at my wit's end, I got on my knees because I was completely tired. I had nowhere else to turn. There was no tapping into anything else because I didn't know anything else. And the only way out was truly tapping in with God. But when I got into my spiritual self, no, I didn't go to church. No, I didn't pull out no Bible, but I literally cried, and I cried to God because I wanted something different. I knew that it was more out here. I knew that I wanted more, and I knew in order for me to get to where I needed to be, I had to pray. I had to begin to learn how to take in a certain type of faith, a certain type of confidence, a certain type tap into something that I didn't even know was there. You know what I mean? Because I've been so caught up in different things that had me drape off thinking that I did love me or I am so defensive on how I'm moving in life or impulsive on how I'm moving in life. You know what I mean? Like, so for me, it was literally being tired.
Yeah, I love that. But even going to God, that looks different to everybody.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So when you
Absolutely.
say go to God, that is true, but it doesn't stop there. You know?
Oh no, it doesn't. I feel like that was just my beginning. And for me, I didn't like. It wasn't
I'm
just
with because
stop.
God
Like,
is the only way you're
it was
strength.
break down. It was literally like, yo, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? You are at your wit's end. You have no other options.
So
you know
when you get the guy, he give us instructions.
Now I have to do the work.
Right.
And that's where your perspective comes into play.
Because in going to God, we go to hear instructions. But how do you go to God and then hear instructions? He will send the friend to say, he's not for you. This friend who you know got your best interest at heart, who you know is there for you, then it's like, okay, receive the answer that you seek. Don't antagonize a friend and think that that friend is not.
But when you have nobody.
But because I didn't have anybody. When you go to God, so guess who becomes your friend? Guess who becomes your friend? You.
Exactly.
You.
Exactly.
So you become, you have to.
Exactly.
So this is how you do it. You go to God. First you accept, I'm fucked up.
Yes.
I didn't want to accept, no, I literally had to accept, okay, I'm fucked up. Not I'm mentally ill.
Exactly.
Not I'm fucked up.
Yes.
Quote unquote. I gotta get this
I
right.
gotta tap in with me.
Yeah.
I spent the last 7 years tapping into me, and it's the most beautiful. And this is why I can
Absolutely.
stand so sound.
Solid.
This is why I don't care who says what about me.
Yes.
I would never be manipulated. But the victory is I did the work. And like a man who invests into a woman, like when he invests in you, he love you. When you invest in yourself, you love you. You know, I'm too invested in me to cash out on some bullshit.
For real.
Understand?
For
So
real.
certain, you know, my son and daughter blame mom don't cut. But when it comes to trauma, and when it comes to being so tired, when the pain of staying the same supersedes the pain to change, then you will change. The pain of staying the same certainly more than the pain that it takes to change.
That comfortability.
So,
and it's so crazy.
Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Go to God, fall in love with yourself, listen to the voice, find a tribe. That understand you, where you can have those moments, be weak and not be cast away and rejected as you're healing because you had a trigger moment. You need to be around people that can comfort you in those trigger moments. Not like what's she doing to kick you to the curb and cause you to trigger more. But we got something to celebrate. We are off this side. This was an amazing thing. We have an amazing brother with us. I met this guy yesterday. We spent probably 8 hours just communing, vibing, talking, loving, growing. He inspired the socks off of me. He's such a vibe.
I'm sensitive.
And I'm just so happy.
Say happy
birthday. Our ice cream cake.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Marie. Happy birthday, dear Bree.
It's September 21st and 22nd.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you so much. That's all.
And many
This
more.
This is just about all the time we have for today. Thank you so much. We have been running long over time. I want to give a special thank you to everyone that has supported me. Again, my St. Mary fam, I love y'all. Thank you so much. Joey, Marky, Stephen, St. Lux, Lee, Principal. Yo, thank you.
We love y'all.
One second.
We love y'all.
Moment of silence for Bishop David Butler, Elder Kelly Harper, and Miss Diana Dickerson, and all that have lost their lives to COVID-19.
Amen.
Thank y'all so much, y'all.
Thank you,
Thank you so much.